Alright, so this is our very first official member craft along. We're going to start doing these a little more often, monthly as of right now, and maybe we'll do a little bit more later on. If you guys can see me and hear me okay, hopefully technical issues are behind us now. Just give me a thumbs up so I know everything is working okay and you can hear me. So since our first video got cut off, this is my daughter Christabella. She loves Disney and she's going to help me today. She is dressed as, who are you dressed as?
Elsa.
Elsa, her favorite character, so she's in the Disney spirit today. Okay, so for our project today, I am going to be featuring the Maker 3, but you can use any Cricut machine with this. So I'm going to be using Smart Iron-On just to kind of show that process. But if you are using the Explorer 2 or even the Cricut Joy or the original Maker, you can just put your iron-on onto the mat and you'll be good to go. So you can just follow the same process. You just won't be working matless today like we will. So this is the file here that we are going to be cutting out. I did a test cut just to have a backup handy in case we had any problems. It's going to be a simple Cinderella silhouette, and it says, "A dream is a wish your heart makes," and we're going to be placing that onto a shirt. I'm just going to walk you through the process of, how to prep your shirt and cut your vinyl and bead it, and make sure you're setting your EasyPress at the right settings to get it onto your shirt. And we're going to start first with cutting out our file, which I have here already uploaded in Design Space. If you would like this file, it is available at members.abbikirstencollections.com. I have a bunch of files in there, free files, and we also have our new member vault that just launched as well, which has a whole bunch of paid files in addition to the free files that are available there. So you can find that on here or just use your own file. So let's go ahead and load our Cricut machine with our material. What color are we going to do? So I told Ella she could choose between silver and gold. I think we're using a blue shirt here for this project. I'm going to be using this light blue shirt because it kind of looks like a Cinderella blue. And I think that the gold would contrast better, but the silver looks more Cinderella-y, right? It looks more like Cinderella-y, so I think we're going to go with silver. Is that what you want? Okay, so I think silver was her choice, so I think that looks more Cinderella-like, and we're going to use that. Hopefully it'll contrast okay. So let's go ahead and set this shirt over here, maybe. All right, so I have loaded my SVG file already in Design Space here, and I've sized it according to the size that I want. So I'm doing about 7.5 inches wide on this file, and this is a small shirt. I wear either a medium or a small in some cases. So you would want to size that according to you. If you're making a shirt for like someone else who's larger or smaller, like petite or larger, then you're going to want to potentially make that decal for your shirt a little larger or a little smaller. So you'll want to measure your shirt just across, and you want to just take perspective of how big you want your file to be. So just note that and scale your file accordingly to whatever size shirt you might be working with. For me, it's about 7.5 inches, and it's going to go like across the chest. Okay, so I've already uploaded that SVG using the upload button, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the Make It button, and I'll walk you guys through that in just a second. So if you're on an original Maker or an Explorer 2 machine, you'll go straight to your cut screen, which you'll see in just a minute for me here. But if you're on the Explorer 3 or the Maker 3, they now ask you, are you going to cut without a mat, which is the Smart materials, or are you going to cut on the mat? So this is something you will only see if you have one of the newer machines. So if you don't, and you don't see this, there's nothing wrong with your Design Space. It's just something that, because it's linked to my newer machine, it's asking me. So I'm, of course, cutting without a mat today because I'm going to feature the Smart Iron-On. So we're going to select that. And this is what you would see normally. If you didn't have the newer machines, it would just take you straight to this screen. Okay, so I've got to turn this back around for a minute there. I'm hitting continue, and then what we're going to do is we're going to connect this to our machine, and I'm going to use my USB cable because sometimes Bluetooth can be slow or unreliable, so we're going to plug that in.
Mommy,
Yes, baby girl.
does this have buttons or anything?
Yes, it has buttons. You've used this machine with Mommy before. We just have to open it. Look.
Ta-da!
All right, so I'm selecting my device from the drop down here. I'm using my You have to power your machine on. Very important. My husband's back there rolling his eyes like, you need to power on your machine, honey. Power on your machine or it won't show up in Design Space, folks. Yep. All right, so we are now connected because the machine is powered on. If you happen to be using the Maker 3 or Explore 3, usually under the popular, they will have the smart materials already like available to choose from. If you don't see your material, then you would just click on the browse all materials right there until you find, and you can select in the search bar what type of material you're using. But I am using the smart glitter iron-on. So since that's already available right there, that is what I'm going to use. I'm going to leave it at the default pressure. I am trusting that that's going to be set right. Sometimes with glitter iron-on, it doesn't cut all the way through, so fingers crossed. That's why I cut the backup decal just in case. All right, so we have our file loaded, we have our material selected, we have our machine powered on and connected to our computer, and now we're going to load our smart iron-on. No, this is matless. So do you know what the smart iron-on means? You know what smart means? So the smart for Cricut is smart material that works without cutting on that. Yeah, it works with the newer machines. So they have these cool little sensors built in there that lets us cut without a mat. So for this one, you don't have to do the mat, but you can still push the button. Okay?
How did we do? I can't reach it.
I'll let you step over here in just a second, okay? I'm going to move my computer out of the way so it's not in your way here. I wish I had a chair over here or something. This isn't going to work. Here, why don't you come over this way? Step down. Careful. Okay.
That's a small bit.
Very good. Here's your stool. There you go. Okay, that's better, right? Now we can see what we're doing. Okay, so very important anytime we're working with iron-on. You always want to cut with the shiny side down. First time I ever did iron-on years ago, I cut with the shiny side up and I was wondering like, why the heck isn't this working? So you always want to cut with the shiny side down. Same is still true for the smart materials, just as if you would be cutting this on a mat. Also very important that I didn't mention in Design Space, you have to mirror your iron-on materials. And for some reason, I'm hoping Design Space updates this, but for some reason with smart iron-on, even though you still have to mirror it, it doesn't give you that little warning that says, hey, remember you need to mirror, like it does if you're working on the Maker or the Explore 2. I don't know why they haven't put that there yet. At first I was like, I wonder if you don't have to mirror with it, but you do have to mirror with the smart material if you're using iron-on. So to make sure your mirror is on, you can always, if you're on this final screen here, you can click on the edit and toggle on the mirror. And it'll reverse it so that once we actually flip it and put it on our shirt, then it's going to be facing the right direction, which is really important if you have words in your design. So I'm going to click done. And now it's going to say right over here that the mirror is on. It's going to confirm that for us. So now we're good to go. All right, baby girl. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to line it up for you, and you're going to push the flashing button when I tell you to, okay? So we want to line it up with our guides here, under our guides. And you just push it gently against the rollers. All right, go ahead and hit that flashing button, baby girl. There we go.
This is the slow machine.
This is not the slow machine. This one's faster. Yep. So first, Cricut will measure your material just to make sure there is enough length to your material. And then it will go ahead and flash the play button. If you're using one of the older machines, it'll have a Cricut C icon button. It's exactly the same function. They just changed the icon on the front of it there. Yeah, that all looks good. Looks like it was kind of going in a little weird there. Go ahead and hit the go button, baby girl. It'll check that you have the right tool installed first, and then it will proceed with the cut.
Mommy,
Yes, baby.
what happens if you close this while it's cutting?
And you would break your machine. You don't do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that, baby girl. All right, so it's gonna cut out now, and I'm actually testing the smart iron-on material for the very first time. When I cut the sample decal, I was using the mat. So fingers crossed that it works well. It's kind of my first time trying the iron-on. I've tried the the regular permanent vinyls. I've tried Infeasible Ink, the cardstock, smart cardstock, and those have worked fine. If you have come from using an older version of Original Maker or an Explore 2 to the Maker 3 or Explore 3, like, it's actually significantly faster. And the first time I used this machine when it came out, I was actually kind of surprised at the speed, because it sounds like there's almost something wrong with the machine at first because it's moving so quickly. So it sort of surprised me, like the speed, but I haven't had any issues with the accuracy of the cut yet. So I'm really pleased that they improved the speed and the quality is still there, because that was my biggest concern about the newer machines, like cutting faster, the quality would go downhill. But I haven't experienced that yet, so hopefully it'll work well for this also. So when we get this cut done in just a minute here, we're going to weed this design. While that's cutting out,
The weeding. Right?
Oh, the weeding. Yeah, I'll let you help with a couple pieces, okay? While that's cutting out, we can prep our EasyPress and get the settings in the right spot. Can you pull that EasyPress around here for me? I probably should have put the Cricut machine on the other side today. I didn't really think about that. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I'm using the EasyPress 2 here. You could use the EasyPress 1 as well. So I have this plugged in, and I'm going to use Cricut's heat guide. For those of you who don't know, Cricut has a heat guide to guide you on your temperature and time settings. So if you go to Cricut.com/heat guide, you will see a screen that looks like this, and you'll want to select which option you're using. I am going to be using got that one. Sorry.
This is my fast.
The Cricut EasyPress 2. Yeah, it is really fast, isn't it? It's fast and it's a little loud. Alright, so I'm using the Cricut EasyPress 2. I selected that up there. You want to go ahead and unload that for me, baby girl? Press the double arrow button. This one? Yep. Alright, so just let it sit there for a minute while we get our EasyPress set up, okay? Alright, so EasyPress 2, if you have the EasyPress 1, of course you would select that one. Baby girl, just let it sit there, okay? I'm using glitter iron-on. So we're going to use glitter iron-on. That's my material I selected, was glitter iron-on. My base material, this is going to vary according to what you're using for your shirt. So let's take a look. Where do we find that? You usually look on the tags and you'll be able to see. Mine is 88% polyester and 88% polyester and 12% spandex. So 88% polyester, I would just go with a polyester setting probably, because it's so high with polyester. They also have a polyester blend, but I'm just gonna go, there's no cotton in it, so I'm gonna go with the polyester option. And then they want you to select if you're using the Cricut EasyPress matte or a towel for your heat safe surface. I am using the matte. And then if we click apply, it tells us I need to set my press to 330 for 30 seconds with light pressure, and then flip and press for 15 seconds. Slowly remove when cool to touch. So it's telling us it needs to be a cool peel, which means that we need to wait for the material to cool down some before we try lifting it off the shirt. So let's set our EasyPress up here. I'm gonna power it on, and then we're gonna hit the temp button here, and it needs to be at 330, so I'm gonna use those up and down plus buttons and minus buttons there to set that. Then I'm going to set the time to 30 seconds. All right, once you have that set, then you can just hit the Cricut icon. Actually, no, you're not supposed to hit the Cricut icon button. You can hit it twice, and then it'll just set it to that time, and it'll take it off the cycle where you filter through the numbers, and it'll heat up. So it's going to take a few minutes to heat up. So while this is heating out, we can go ahead and weed our design. I'm going to set this off to the side here, babe. Be careful. When you hand it back to me, it's going to be hot, so be careful. All right, so we have our design cut out here. It looks like everything cut out fine on the Smart Iron-On. I'm kind of getting like the... Yeah, we're going to trim off all of our extra vinyl though first.
I don't want vinyl.
Let's go ahead and trim off our extra. See where our design stops here. Can you roll that up for me? Thank you. You want to, baby, you can put it back in the box, okay? And there's also quite a bit of extra on this side that I could use as a scrap, so trim that as well. Alright, so I put this in like a scrap binder or something like that to use later on.
I'm going to save the rest of this for my 60th year.
Alright, so I'll let you do a couple weeding pieces on some of the easier ones, okay, the big ones, that way we don't accidentally pull the design. So when we weed, I always start at the top corner and get it started. Anything with weeding, it's always good to go nice and slow because sometimes things pick up that shouldn't, and then if you catch it, you can just place them back down and there's no real problem. It's also a good idea sometimes to have your image on your screen next to you so you can kind of see if it's, you know, exactly where you're working as you're pulling the vinyl up, the iron on up, and you know where you're going to be weeding and not weeding and stuff like that. My light's flickering. I gotta get that fixed. One of these lights keeps flickering on me. You guys are seeing little flashes. One of my studio lights keeps flickering. It did it the other day, and I turned the bulb inside, and it sort of stopped it for a little bit, but it might be hot. All right.
Why is it like fast on the bottom?
Well, on the outside one, it's a little easier. When we get to the more intricate stuff, we have to be really, 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 really careful. Especially with the letters. It's like my S was trying to lift up there. So you want to make sure you're not lifting any of your letters up.
Well, after this, everything is lunch.
Yes, baby girl, after this we'll eat lunch. With this particular file, there's like some swirls, so be really mindful of the swirls that you're not yanking those up. I always say patience makes perfect when it comes to weeding. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but...
What, weeding?
Yeah, it's a necessary evil though.
I usually like to do weeding.
I know, you like to do anything that mommy does in here, huh? Yup.
I just don't know when to get crafty, then I want to stay downstairs. But
I have to work up here because this is where all my stuff is. Alright, getting all that
I
off.
thought you work on your computer.
Well, I do both. I have to craft and work on the computer. Alright, there we go. Weeding time. Alright, so I'm going to start one for you, baby girl, and I'll let you do a couple by pulling it up. Alright, so that place right there.
Pull it up.
Yep. Nice and slow. Yay, good job. Alright, let's find another larger piece over here.
Mommy, do you want me to get like the thing where I put the scraps in?
You can if you want to, baby.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is, for any of you who want to know, this is called Ivanberry, I think it is, or Ivyberry. Ivanberry.
It's like a
And it's a weeding tool that, or weeding catcher for your scraps, and it also suction cups to your desk, so it can give you like, you know, the ability to sort of knock your scraps in there. You can get them on Amazon. They have lots of different options in there as well. So we're gonna take that one out. You wanna pull that little one up for me there?
Nice
and slow.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got it. Nice and slow. Alright, so let mommy do some of the more intricate little teeny tinies because they're hard to do for mommy, okay?
No, you can do. I can do the big ones.
Yeah.
Cinderella.
So weeding a glitter iron-on is not fun because it's hard to, you know, see where the lines are. My advice would be, obviously make sure you have a well-lit area. And bright pads can help. I do have one. I honestly don't use it all that often. I use it a little bit with black because black is super hard compared to lighter colors. I found that honestly looking at the picture on my screen really helps because I can see where, like, eye-wise, I kind of need to place my tool to sort of get an idea of where that vinyl is going to lift. So that helps me the most, honestly. And then of course, just, you know, taking your time. Also a cheap method of, you know, bright pad, if you don't want to actually pay for a bright pad, but you want to give one a try, a cheap option is to hold your design up to a well-lit window and let the sunlight shine through it. And that will achieve the same effect, and it's completely free. So you can give that a try too if you have like a window in your craft area. That's a great option. All right, we're almost done with the letters. And this one was about 7.5 inches wide, but as you can see, the letters are still fairly small with the overall design. So I wouldn't recommend going super tiny on this design unless you're just doing Cinderella herself, the silhouette. Is there any questions or anything, baby? No? Okay. If you guys have any questions about the process or anything, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to help you. Even if you're watching replay, feel free to pop your questions in because I'm going to come back and leave comments as well. So I did find on Cinderella here, there's some things that need to be weeded out. It is a little challenging on Cinderella. So I kind of hold it where the light kind of goes at an angle there. And sometimes just holding it up to the light and not on a flat surface is actually quite helpful to find where that's going to start. So there's one of those pieces that needs to come up.
Whoa, that's
yeah. And sometimes fingers work better on certain parts than a weeding tool. So don't be afraid not to use the weeding tool. It's not a requirement. So I would love to know, we were talking about the favorite Disney characters. Ella, what's your favorite Disney character? Your most favorite, if you had to pick just one.
I like that too.
I know, you have so many that you love. I would guess that your favorite is Elsa because, well...
Hey, what's my second one? It's not Beauty and the Beast. I already love Beauty and the Beast. It's not Beauty and the Beast.
Is it Snow White?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised. Is it Ariel?
No.
Is it Anna?
No.
I was gonna say, I think Elsa and Anna fall in the same category from Frozen.
I knew it.
Okay, so tell us what it is.
It's Aurora!
Aurora? I wouldn't have guessed that. I would not have guessed that.
Why would you not guess that?
Because you always watch the other movies more, so I thought those were your favorite. Okay, can you press that top button? If your EasyPress stays on for more than 5 minutes without being moved, it's going to beep to go off on a safety mode. I think I've got it weeded now though, guys. Let me check and see. It's a good idea to always flip things over. Check your letters, make sure you didn't leave anything behind. You don't want to iron that on and then be like, oh, darn it, I left something on that wasn't supposed to be on. Looks good to me though. Okay, so now we get to put it on the shirt. Yay!
Like this one little thing on the shirt.
Yep, I know. We're gonna clear all this off. I didn't really use my weeding berry all that much, did I? I love all these tools they come out with, but sometimes I don't use them. It's just easier to be messy. Okay. Yeah, if you can just slide that right over. I love the heat press is coming over now. Okay, mommy only touches the heat press. All right.
Mom, do you know this can slide like this? Watch.
All right, so like I said, we already set our heat press settings, and now we're going to place on the shirt. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do you get it center on the shirt? In all honesty, I have just practiced and I've learned to eyeball the designs, but there is one very simple thing you can do to help yourself. It works with any shirt, but it works particularly well if you're doing, here, you wanna hold that for me? It works particularly well if you're doing a V-neck shirt like this one, where you can just fold the shirt in half, like so. And be careful not to
Where's
press.
the other Cinderella? I need to go with Elizabeth.
Here, baby girl. Be careful not to press on the seams. You want to press that down here.
You forgot one. You see that? You don't have that on there.
Oh, did I forget one?
Yep, you forgot one.
I forgot one. Thank you, Miss Assistant, for catching that for me.
Well, I guess if we did that, it would be like not good.
Nope.
Oh, we got a Rapunzel is the best.
Rapunzel is the best. I love Rapunzel too.
I love
Rapunzel's
Rapunzel.
awesome. You like Rapunzel, baby girl?
Rapunzel, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
I always watch the cartoon ones except for the ones.
Yeah, you like Tangled Ever After. Yeah, Rapunzel's really good too. I like that one. Although, what's your favorite part of the movie?
I really like the it's like the Corona thing. The Corona with That's why I always want to try to find it.
So you mean the kingdom of Corona?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the coronavirus. Now Facebook's gonna put like, get your facts here below this video because we said the word. That's actually the name of their kingdom in Tangled, if you don't know that. Okay, so back to the shirt. All right, so I like to fold it in half. This is just a good way to create sort of a seam in the middle of the shirt as like a center point. And I'll just press for, can you pull my, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just a good way to add a little crease so we can have a center point to our shirt. This also warms the material so that it's more ready to receive the iron on. And I just do this for like 10 to 15 seconds. It doesn't have to be very long.
You make the shirt flat?
You will in a minute, just watch. All right, so now we have like kind of a crease that gives us a little more. It was a little off there, but it's fine. It gives us a little bit more of a perspective. You also can check on Amazon. They have like t-shirt guides and tees and things like that that can help you with like placements. Like I said, I've just gotten very used to eyeballing it. All right, I need, thank you, ma'am.
It's sticky.
It's sticky. All right, so I just kind of hover. You can also, with this trick here, you can also fold your design in half and just crease right at the top there. And when you open it, you see that little notch, and you can use that as a means to help align as well. So that's one little trick I sometimes use depending on the design, but like I said, I'm usually pretty lazy and I just eyeball it. But I know that's not an option for everybody.
I like the blue ones and the gold. I like this kind of blue.
You like that one? So how about we put that one on your shirt then, since you like that better? Does that sound good? Yes? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I want silver with you.
You want silver with me? You want to match mommy? Is that the thing? All right. Well, we went ahead and cut the silver, so we're gonna stick with silver. We're gonna see it through. All right. So this is stuck on. I'm pretty happy with the center here. So I'm gonna go ahead and. Hey, babe, can you pull my cord? Yeah, this is not. This is why I was thinking I should do it on the front instead of the back. Can you grab my heat safe tape over there? So with the Smart, and this can happen I think with any of the iron-ons, but with the Smart iron-on here, I'm noticing because the liner is thicker than the traditional, it's curling on me, which could shift my design. So I'm gonna use some heat safe tape to put this down so that I don't have to worry about it shifting on me.
I smell heat press.
There's a heat press right there. What does a heat press smell like, honey?
It's like this funny smell that comes.
It smells like an iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron something.
Alright. Yeah, so I'm noticing that's the only like downside I'm seeing. That's the only downside I'm seeing with the Smart iron-on is that it's wanting to curl more because the liner is thicker due to the fact that we're cutting matless. So just something to keep in mind. I'm just taping this down really well so that it's not curling on me, and hopefully everything will press correctly into the shirt there.
Let's see the tap right there.
It'll be okay, baby girl. I'll just rotate it this way. Alright, and my press is covering the design in full, so I don't need to do it in sections. This is the medium size, and I'm just going to press that Cricut icon button when I want the countdown to start. And it's just going to press for that 30 seconds. Of course, your time's going to vary if you're using a different material, so just use that heat guide that Cricut provides to check your settings. We got 10 seconds here. We are going to want to let this cool peel.
6, 5, 8. Mom.
Yes, what?
Can I talk to Ella real quick?
What do you need to say, bud?
Well, I just wanted to tell Ella I'm watching Mini Force X. That's a new Mini Force that has new episodes.
Okay, well, she's helping me right now, buddy. When she's done, she'll come watch it with you. All right, so this said that we needed to do a cool peel. So what that means is we need to let this cool down a little before we lift it. Before I actually go through the process of lifting, I'm just gonna pull up the end to see if it's even like sticking, and it looks like it is sticking, and it will hold better once we do the cool peel. So like right now, if I hover my hand, I can feel a lot of heat coming off of that. So no, we don't try. So I know not to touch it for a couple of moments. And that's just going to reinforce the design. As far as care instructions go for iron-on, specifically I would say with any iron-on, but very much with glitter iron-on because it's a little thicker than your everyday iron-on. You want to always wash on cold water on gentle. I would recommend putting it in a laundry bag if you can, in addition to washing on cold and gentle. And then you would either tumble low for dry or let it hang dry. That's going to extend the life of your shirt tremendously, rather than washing all in heat and not putting it in a laundry bag and not putting it on gentle and all of that. All right, so let's see how our shirt came out. I think the silver looks pretty good. It's definitely Cinderella, right? What do you think, baby? You like it?
Yeah. Actually, Mommy, I do want that one.
You do want that one? I figured you'd change your mind, yeah. Yes, it's so much fun. I really like this shirt. Can't wait to wear it next time we go to Disney. Where did we go last week? Where did we go?
The real Disney.
The real Disney World, the Magic Kingdom. We live in Florida, and they've lived in Florida since they were babies, but we went to the Magic Kingdom for the very first time last week. So now we're kind of in a Disney mood, wanting to make all these Disney crafts and fun things like that.
Do you know, like, have a black sparkle? Like sparkle.
Black sparkles?
Yeah.
Black sparkle glitter iron-on? Yes, I have black sparkle glitter iron-on.
I think what would like the Mickey with black.
You like Mickey with black? Yeah, that would be another good shirt. So if you guys have any, so if you guys have any questions about this project, if you would like the file or check out all of our other files, you can create your free account at members.abbikirstencollections.com to check it out. Even if you're watching the replay, feel free to leave me questions or comments, and I will definitely be back in answering any of those questions that you have. We are going to be doing more member monthly craft-alongs, so if you have any ideas of what you would like to see, or there's a particular craft in my members vault that you would like to see live, then go ahead and leave that comment as well, and I will consider that for our next live together. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday with me. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody? Is Daddy making funny faces at you?
Say bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Say thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.